everyone, it's Katie here and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things teaching, languages and travel. So today I have another teaching video for you. We're going to be doing a review of the online teaching company Outschool, who I've been teaching with for the past half year. Okay, to start off with, let me just briefly introduce Outschool. So Outschool is an American company. They started initially targeting the US homeschool market and they've since expanded worldwide. So on Outschool you can teach any subjects. It doesn't have to be academic, it can also be to do with hobbies, discussion groups, pretty much anything that you care or you're passionate about you can teach on Outschool. It's essentially a teacher's marketplace. You can list classes, they're group classes generally via Zoom, and you list classes up for students to then sign up for at the times and topics that you've already pre-specified. So first, let's start with some advantages. And for me, the biggest advantage of Outschool is that you can teach what you are passionate about. I've literally seen everything advertised there, from sort of maths, phonics and so on, all the way to Minecraft, coding, becoming a YouTuber, knitting, literally anything, arts and crafts, all that kind of stuff. As long as you are passionate about, you have some expertise in, you are able to teach. Cool. So I'm a qualified science teacher here in the UK, so that's kind of my niche, fun science classes for middle school kids. Some of the classes I've taught include designing a space rocket or a science in the use discussion club. I've also got a series of classes on drawing graphs, and these have all been pretty popular, say on Outschool. Now the second big advantage, and I think this is a big one for a lot of people, is the earning potential. So Outschool advertises that the average teacher earns $50 per hour on Outschool, and I say from my own experience that is genuinely possible to achieve. So you set your own prices, you decide how much you want to charge. They recommend charging around $10 to $15 per hour per student, because it's group classes that can then add up to quite a lot. You can have up to I think 16 or maybe even 18 students per class, but obviously the more you've got the less you can really charge per student, you're giving them less individual attention. There are some teachers on Outschool who are earning significantly over $100 per hour. If you design your classes well and you're happy to have large groups, there's actually a very high earning potential. For me, the next huge advantage for a lot of people is the flexibility Outschool offers in terms of scheduling. There are no minimum hours, there's no kind of obligatory peak hours you have to be available to teach or anything like that. You decide in advance when you're going to offer your classes, you list them up at those specified times, and then kids sign up if they want to attend. So it's very flexible around your schedule. If you want to take some time off on holiday, just don't list classes during those weeks, not a problem. You can also cancel or reschedule classes if you have to, without things like fines for cancellations or any issues like that. Now, something I think a lot of teachers don't realise about Outschool when they first apply or before they apply is that Outschool really encourages you to list a particular class, design that class and those materials, and then teach that same class many times to different groups of students. For me, this is a huge advantage because it does take time to plan your lessons, think about what will be popular, what the kids will learn, plan all your resources and so on. But once you've done that initial planning, the fact that you can teach that class hundreds of times without having to replan again, I think is a huge advantage, which other platforms don't really offer. And the final thing I'd add is that Outschool is a global platform. So a really big advantage is that you can teach classes literally any time of day. Now, I say the majority of their students are in the US time zone, just because that was their base, that's where they started. But I teach many students from Korea, China, Australia, all the way across Europe, Canada, literally all around the world. So you can fit lessons in any time of day, and there will be students somewhere available to take that class. So it's really quite good having learners from around the world, so you can teach any time that works for you. But I do want to talk a bit about a few disadvantages now as well. So no platform is perfect, I always emphasise that. The first disadvantage I would say is that it's a bit slow starting. You need to put in a lot of effort up front before it really starts paying off. So for me, in my first month on Outschool, I earned a grand total of $7 in the whole month. I taught one class with one learner. I listed many more, no one signed up, and it was a bit of a slow start for me. Now, admittedly, it wasn't a great time of year, it was December, so kids are busy thinking about Christmas rather than thinking about taking classes. But yeah, don't expect to be fully booked the minute you open up classes. So it took me about 3 or 4 months to get up to that average income that Outschool advertises of $50 per hour. Okay, next disadvantage for a lot of people is that you need to create your own curriculum, you need to create your own content. Now, because Outschool is a commercial platform, you normally cannot buy resources from websites like Tez, Twinkle, Teachers Pay Teachers. They tend to not allow commercial use. So you need to be confident designing your own slides, designing your own curriculum, teaching. I mean, you can teach whatever you want, which is great, but you need to be able to do that. You can't just read off the slides that someone else has prepared. And my final disadvantage, which is kind of linked to this, is that you need quite a bit of sort of marketing know-how in order to do well on Outschool. So when you design your classes, you need to think, what do parents want to see? What do kids want to see? How can I attract both parents and kids to want to choose this particular lesson topic? So for example, my design a space rocket class, it sounds super cool, right? Designing a space rocket, kids love the sound of that. If you look at the class description, you'll learn that this class is all about Newton's laws of motion in physics. And we don't do detailed calculations, but we're learning some core physics ideas. So parents see that, oh, actually this is an academic course as well. So in this way it attracts both the parents and the students. You also need to be able to make your class fun. Give kids something they can take away from the lesson, say, wow, look what I achieved, look what I made, look what I learned, wasn't this awesome, can I take more classes with that teacher? So you need to be able to have that marketing skill and a certain amount of sort of parent-pleasing, student-pleasing abilities in order to do well, building up good reviews and attracting students to take your classes. Okay, so that was my review of teaching with Outschool. If it sounds interesting for you, please do check out the details below. I've got my referral link. In that application link, you can find the details of their most up-to-date requirements. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.